Hello, all out and abouters, bookworms, um, YouTubers, internet speakers, and any other people and family under the sound of my voice that I'm connected to on social media. Anyway, this is my review for the movie Shaft 2019. So the movie stars Samuel L. Jackson as the main character, John Shaft, Jesse Usher as Shaft Jr., and Richard Roundtree as Shaft Sr. Richard Roundtree kind of goes down as the coolest man of the 70s for this particular part. Anyway, the movie, I did a little bit of background. The movie Shaft is actually based on a 1970 novel by Ernest Tidyman, who also not only wrote Shaft but also wrote the screenplay for The French Connection, which was adapted from a nonfiction book by Robin Moore. I plan on trying to get both these books because it sounds pretty good. I always like to read the book because the book always winds up being even better than the movie. How you can get much better than the original, I'm not sure, but it was and this novel inspired the 1971 film of the same name and its subsequent sequels. So the genre is considered to be action comedy, similar to, if you're a Jackie Chan fan, and I am. Similar to Jackie Chan movies. This is the fifth installment of the Shaft film series. There was, and if you are, movie buff and you're a real, diehard Shaft fan, you can go on Wikipedia and it has like different pages that give you every single bit of the, Shaft series. So this was also a sequel to the 2000 film that also starred Samuel L. Jackson in the lead role. So my opinion of this film was it lived up to its status as action comedy. It was hilarious, very fast moving. It was one of the best action comedies I have seen in a very long time. I stayed on the edge of my seat the whole time. The musical score was awesome. I plan on looking to see if the soundtrack is available in my Spotify. I like the cinematography. It reminds me of the Bad Boys movies with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. I even thought, as I saw one scene, I'm like, man, this would make if they decide to do this again, this would be an awesome movie to try 3D. That's just how good it was. The theme seemed to be, since we're talking about, the different generations of Shafts within the Shaft family, there were a lot of jokes about old school dating versus new millennium dating. There was, because, a lot of old school gentlemen. One reoccurring joke was the way the way Samuel L. Jackson's Shaft kept crossing the street. We used to make jokes back in the day about black men crossing the street like they can't get hit. so if you're one of those people that kind of goes back to that era in time, then you know what I'm talking about. That ultimate and cool, indestructible type persona. Now, one scene I really liked that really kind of demonstrated the whole young versus old thing was they kept kind of making Junior look like a bit of a nerd. However, in the one bar scene, he kind of proved his dad wrong by getting into a bar fight, and he tried some new jitsu dance, almost ballet looking self-defense moves, and like really kicked this guy's behind. Now, what I just described is about as much as I want to go into, because one of the things I hate is when people when a critic does the review and tells you too much of the movie. So I don't want to tell you too little, but I do want to tell you just enough that you may want to get in there and go see it. The acting, and he basically was showing in this scene that book smarts doesn't necessarily mean equal wimpiness, because he still went kind of medieval on this dude. So the acting to me was on point as usual. Samuel L. Jackson delivered his straightforward, no nonsense delivery that he's known for. One thing I've always liked about him is, he's not the same character in every movie, of course, but he still has a delivery with his acting that just comes across as just, no junk, just outspoken, say what you need to say and whatever. Richard Roundtree, even in his advanced age, still makes you think of, his delivery and everything. He still kind of goes down. Like I said, whenever I see him, all I can think is this guy was once one of the coolest black men in the 70s. Real cinema icon, but at the same time, he also shows with his acting chops that he is worthy of the title. One of the things they went into, I did a little bit of research for this review, and evidently in the 2000 film, he was cast as Uncle John Shaft to John the second, because he wouldn't necessarily be junior. The man's supposed to be his uncle. That was kind of explained away in this one, because of course now they brought John the third in. So, in order to explain this being his grandson instead of his great nephew, they joked it away by saying that John the second's mom lied about his parentage, and that John the first was really his father and not his uncle. So it was actually a very like I said before, everything was on point. The audience, we were all like different stuff that they were doing. They just had us all. I keep using is because I really would like for people to get out and see this movie. The critics did not give it the best review. I don't always go by the other critics. I like to form my own opinions about different movies or whatever when I go see things. If it looks interesting, I go see it regardless. But as a critic, I will say I highly recommend this movie. If you can get out and show Samuel L. and of course our dude Richard Roundtree, and I will say let me look here, the young man that played John the Third. Hold on, let me see here. Jesse Usher, that is his name. Jesse Usher. I'm gonna say be on the lookout for him in future films. This was my first time seeing him in anything, but like if you are listening to this, if you want to comment wherever you hear this review at, and let it be known anything else that he's in. I didn't get a chance before doing this review to look up any of his other work. So if you have heard of him from any other things or seen him in any other things, kind of comment and let us just know what all you have seen him in. Anyway, like I said, I think that Shaft 2019 is well worth the money spent. You will not be disappointed. It feeds your desire. If you have a need for nostalgia, it feeds that really well with the addition of Richard Roundtree and everything. But like I said, I really think that if you go out, don't listen to the critics on this one. Listen to this critic, because I'm also another critic. But listen to this critic. Now, like I said, the critics didn't give it that high of a rating, but audiences, the people who actually go and pay and see the movies and everything, gave it a pretty high score, between A plus and F, it got an A from most of the audiences. So I would say, don't listen to what you heard. Go out and check it out, and show Samuel L. some love and everything. Even though he's done quite well in his career, still, and he's earned all of it. So we're not gonna hate. But I'm saying this one gets a first run rating for me. Like I said, I have different rating systems for different movies. I think this one is worth your first run bucks. I think this is worth your first run bucks to go and see. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go. You guys enjoy, your movies and everything. I will be back on Friday night with my radio station on Stationhead, my radio show on Stationhead, weekend, eclectic weekends. So I will see it. You'll probably be hearing from me then. You guys be blessed. Bye bye.